First of all, I want to begin by giving a yashikoyach to Reb Zevi. We're all very marketoiv on everything b'chlal, but on the Chaburah, the Thursday night Chaburah b'frat, and Yoni on the Parsha. In this week's Parsha, in the Birchas Yaakov to the Shvatim, by Yehuda, it's very interesting. Yehuda ati yeducha achecha. Then the pasuk says, "Lo yaser shevet beYehuda." This haste, how the Ramban explains what's Lo yaser shevet beYehuda. Number one, that Yehuda got the Malchus. Really, Reuven was supposed to get the Malchus, like Rashi explains in the Brachas that Pachas Kamayim, so he lost the Malchus. So number one, Lo yaser shevet beYehuda, that says the Malchus is by Yehuda. V'oid, besides that it's for Yehuda, not Reuven, v'oid, Dr. Ramban, lo yaser, it should not be removed. It should not be removed. And Rashi explains this was applicable only from Yemois David ve'elach. Das heißt, Shaul HaMelech was a Melech Meshevet Binyamin, like it's Mavur. But after Shaul HaMelech, David HaMelech took over, then the Malchus was La Yasa Shevetz, the Malchus stays by Malchus of Yehuda. David was Yehuda. Narvas, like Yitaka find, after David, after Shlomo, he was Malchus based David, and then there was Malchus Yehuda and Malchus Yisrael. So, how the Ramban says, they were Taka Oiver al Oisi Zaken, they were Chatu, because Lamaisa Yaakov Avinu said La Yasser Shevet, the Malchus should stay there, and they didn't listen. Dr. Ramban. It's this week's Parsha. It's also we're coming off Chanukah, almost just a week ago. Dr. Ramban in this week's Parsha, there for the Chashmonoim, the Malche Chashmonoim. Even though Dr. Ramban, that says the Matisyo Kohen Gadol Chashmonoi Vonov, even though Dr. Ramban that they were Chasidei Elyon, the Lashon HaMedrash, the Medrash says Matisyo Kohen Vonov Omdu Be'emunasa Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they were tzadikim. The Torah says, Lashon the Torah, they were tzadikim gemurim. V'loyoi, not only that they were tzadikim gemurim, Dr. Ramban ilimolei the Chashmonoim is neshtakach Torah mi Yisrael. It wasn't stam they came and they made themselves, Malchus. If not for them, Torah would have been a shtakach. And why would a Torah been a shtakach? So like the Chasam Sofer on Chanukah says that the Chashmonoim made Gedorim u'Syagim. Gedorim u'Syagim for Klal Yisrael. To say, if not for the Gedorim and Syagim, like his lashon is, it would have been pug. It would have lost the Klal Yisrael's daikonis b'Torah mitzvahs, and we would have lost Torah. That's what the Chasam Sofer explains the Ramban, and he says v'tiru migdoshecha. What's v'tiru migdoshecha? Parshas, you understand? V'tiru migdoshecha means that because of the Chashmonoim, v'tiru migdoshecha, the Bais HaMikdash. But he says not Migdashecha, but V'tiru Bais HaMikdash. Now V'tiru Migdashecha is referring to Klal Yisrael. The pasuk says Laman Tameis Migdashi. Rashi explains Knesset Yisrael. It's going on Klal Yisrael. Migdashi, yeah. One of the Kedarim that were made was that the Chashmonoi was that Goyim are Matama Kizov. That was one of the Takonis made. Be'etzem, a Goy is not Matama. They made that a Goy is Matama Kizov. And with that, the Chasam Sofer explains what was the nest. What was the nest that they found oil and it burned for 8 days. What was the nes? And it was the oil continued for 8 days. It was a nes. It continued burning for 8 days. And they could have used the oil. What was the nes b'chlal? Zogt Chasam Sofer. The pshat was when the goyim touched it, they were matamim betum zav. Tumahutra betzibur is only Tumas Mace. Masha'in Kain, Tumas Zov is not Hutra betzibur. There was a nidun, there was a clear what to do. Should we be machmer and makbid on this chumrah, this siyag of tumas that a guy is metame tumas zav and maybe we don't have oil? I do, it's only a dirabon and a maybe we can be mekel. And that was the nest of Chanukah, that the pshat was that they found oil and they were able to still keep to this siyag. I think if I understand, it seems like from the lashon that the Chashmonaim made this takana akaponim Zakter Ramban, that even though that they were Chasidei Elyon, and because of the Chashmonaim, they were loichem Malchemas Hashem, and they caused that Klal Yisrael should continue to have the Torah. Still, they were chayte. What was the chayte? The chayte was because they were the Kahanim, right? Kahanim is from what Shavit? From Levi. So they were chayte. They took away the kahuna. They took away the Malchus. This week's Parshas Yasa Shev was like they took it away. He also says that there was another taina on the Chashmonaim, besides from this week's Parsha of La Yasa Shevet not to take away Malchus. There's also a taina because they were Leviim from Kahanim. If they would be from a different Shevet, so say that they took away the Malchus, but there's another taina that they're supposed to be doing their job. Their job is to be lemeshmeres avodas Hashem. What are they going and they're doing Malchus? So first of all, Ayasa Shevet, they took away the Malchus, and Va'oid, they should be focusing on their job. Al Kaponim, they were nenash and taka like it's mavur that they were killed out the Chashmonaim because Ayasa Shevet. Now Vas Lamaisa, so as we explained, they took the Malchus. The Shloh says that it wasn't be'etzem a taina. It was a shkoga, like it calls it. Be'etzem, they had a cheshbon. Not only they had a cheshbon, kavanosam zok the Shloh v'chvoidam. When they took the Malchus, it wasn't because they wanted to have the Malchus. Their kavana was for Malchus Shamayim. At kedei kach he says zok the Shloh Maccabi is the oisis Bais Chaf Yud and then Baruch Kvoid Hashem Mekoymoi. So Baal Kaponim zok the Shloh was a shkoga, and the shkoga was Lamaisa Yasa Shevet. The Shemesh Shmuel asks, where taka did they make a mistake? Lamaisa Yasa Shevet. What was the Havamina? What was the Havamina that they should make themselves a Malchus? What was the Havamina? Lamaisa it says Mfurisha Pasuk Yasa Shevet. What was the Havamina? V'oid Zok the Shevet. When he asks, he says there was Sanhedrin. It was in the times of the second Bais Hamikdash. There was Sanhedrin. How would the Sanhedrin maskim eiches scheme? How would the Sanhedrin maskim for the Chashmonaim Mavanav to take the Malchus? How would they maskim? Now he says like this. He says that Be'etzem, he says that they had a Mesiras Nefesh, and with the Mesiras Nefesh, with that they got their Mesiras Nefesh. They got Ki'ilu to be Pshatas, what they did, like what the Shloh says, to be Malchus Shamayim. It was Taka Kvoid Shamayim Malchus Shamayim. And Be'etzem, he says, it wasn't a taina on them. The taina was that it continued on. That says they Taka could have been a Malchus. Taka could have had Malchus. Be'etzem, you see the Musig, and it's a Tshuvas Rashba. The Rashba says that the Pasuk says, Pshat in the Pasuk in this week's Parshas Yasa Shev, Tshuvas Rashba Chelik Daled, that the Isser is only Isser when it continues. A one-time Malchus is not a problem. Even Malchi Yisrael, the taina wasn't at the beginning. The taina was that Malchi Yisrael continued the Malchus further on as well. Is Memela, the taina wasn't a taina on the Chashmonaim Mavanav, the taina was weiter, right? The kasha was, how did they make such a mistake? How did the Sanhedrin let it? The Torah says it wasn't a taina on them. Lamaisi, if you take a look at the Ramban, from the Ramban it's mashman that it was actually a taina on them. They made the mistake. One more nakuda in this Indian, and then we'll get to shtekol me'inyan le'inyan ba'isa inyan. But one more nakuda, the Ramami Pano says On this, that it says Lo Yasa Shevet, and Lamaisa Itaka did go away. Zoktam Rami Pano, you see, there's a musik by Malchus that if the son is roy, the son takes over. Rashi says in Parshas Shoftim by the Parsha of Malchus that if the son is roy, Kishaben Hagen is koidem. By Torah it's not like that. By Torah there's no Yerusha, like the Lashon is the Torah is Menachas B'Karen Zavas, and whoever wants to come. There's no Yerusha by Torah. So why is it that you find Taka the Blet in the beginning Sanhedrin, the Taka the Resh Galusa, the Nasiim were Taka from Yehuda, and it went over from father to son. So he says that the Pshat is to keep this a reminder of Lo Yasser Shevet. There was some zecher of a Malchus al Kapanim by the Nasi. The beginning, the Nasiim, it didn't go from father to son, only later on. It went on later on. After that, there was no continuation. It's not the Malchus, something like a zecher. The Nasiim were also from Yehuda, something to continue on. One more Nekuda, we'll call it Me'inyan Le'inyan Bais Inyan. We'll see how it's Negeya. There's a shaila that's asked by many, why is it that there's no Mesechta Mishnayos for Chanukah? These two ways I'd ask the shaila. There's one shaila is why the Mishnayos doesn't speak about the Nes of Chanukah. And then there's another shaila why there's no halachas. Now it is true, was taka going around, there's I think 8 Mishnayos around Shishis of the Mishnah that bring about Chanukah, but it's Agav, gets Mesechtas Baba Kama, but not, there's no Prokim Mishnayos speaking about Chanukah. Lamai Lamasim, it's a Gemara and Shabbos. Why is there no Mishnayos? So in Chut HaMasholish, that's written about the Chassam Sofer, they bring that the Chassam Sofer said the following, and that's the shaykhs to what we're going to say what we said before. Who is the one who wrote the Mishnayos, Masada the Mishnayos, Rabbeinu HaKadosh? To say it was written, and it was a lot of people wrote it. He was Masada it, he rewrote it. Could speak a lot about it. He's a Rambam in Yad HaChazak and the Akdama. Parshas he wrote it, and he was also Masada. So they bring the Chut HaMasholish B'Shem the Chassam Sofer, that the Chassam Sofer said that since Rabbeinu HaKadosh was from Shevet Yehuda, he was kilu moicha on this, that the Chashmonoim, the Nes of Chanukah happened with the Chashmonoim. So kilu was moicha on this, that the Chashmonoim took over the Malchus Yehuda in Chut HaMasholish. Now it's a moiridig chiddush, and ad kedei kach in the updated Chut HaMasholish, they bring a few more words, and it says that Rabbeinu HaKadosh wrote the Mishnayos B'Ruach HaKodesh. And people are masber why it was added. It's true, it's not true, but I'm saying this is what's in Chut HaMasholish. To say such a zach that Rabbeinu HaKadosh was moicha, that's why I didn't bring the Hilchas Chanukah, because that's a medavar pella. But if you say it was written B'Ruach HaKodesh, so mela, that's why it was nishmat. That's one teretz, but akapanim, that's the shaykhs to the first part I was speaking about, because it's was speaking Yehuda. It's a part of chumashi. It doesn't have to have a full. But akapanim, that's the first teretz, just to bring out this nekuda about not speaking about it for this reason, for the reason ki'ilu that Rabbeinu HaKadosh was from Yehuda, and that's why not to speak about the Nes of Chanukah that came from the Chashmonoim that took Lo Yasser Shevet, they took the Malchus from Yehuda. On Purim, these kroivitz. The kroivitz is a piyut on every single piece of Shemay Esrei. The Avuj Ram from the Rishonim say kroivitz is Rosh Tevis Kol Rinu V'Yeshua V'Hali Tzadikim. Al Kapanim, if you take a look, one of the brachas of Shemay Esrei is missing. A Semach David. So what's Pshat? Semach David, why is it missing? Every other one has. What's with that Semach David? So the posh the teretz is that the one who wrote the piyut was a Yerushalmi, And the Yerushalmi has Boini Yerushalayim and Tzemach as one bracha, so Mela it's one shtickle, one piyut for both. But these are teretz given with the same yisoid. The Nes of Purim was with Mordechai and Esther. Esther was from Shaul, from Binyamin. Mordechai also. So B'Mela, I think Rabbi Koritz says the teretz, but B'Mela, a day of Purim, to say, so if you go to Scheiner Rabbi, you look in the Hashanas, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, it's David. Hashanah Rabbi is the day of David HaMelech. But Purim is Mordechai Esther. So the Mela, it's left out the piyut of Tzemach David, because Lamaisa, it's not that day. It's not the day of Malchus Bais David. It's the day of the Einaklach of Shaul HaMelech from Binyamin. But just on this Shaila, just say a few more truths about this. We're going to conclude the Shaila why Chanukah. There's no Masechta, there's no Mishnayos on Chanukah. So the Chassam Sofer, we just said that the Chotam HaSholish brings the Chassam Sofer. The emphasis is that the Chassam Sofer himself says a different teretz. The Chassam Sofer says, he asks a different Shaila, why is he no Masechtas Tefillin? Why is he no Masechtas Tzitzis? These ganzen and simonim in Shulchan Aruch halachas of tzitzis, tefillin. So why is there no mishnayos? You're right, in Mesechtas Menachos it says tefillin sharoish is not makif tefillin shalyad. But why do you know at least a few prokim mishnayos? Zogt the Chassam Sofer that the pshat is that bezman that Rabbeinu HaKadosh was mesada the mishnayos. He was poshet to everybody the halachas of tefillin and tzitzis. Therefore wasn't a geya. And maybe he says Chanukah also. Chanukah was also poshet. There was no need to write it. Why was it poshet? Chanukah is once a year. Why was it poshet? First of all, it could be like what the Rambam says, that it's a mitzvah chavivihi ad l'ma'od. So maybe that's why the Klal Yisrael knew it. But it could be even more. The Nes of Chanukah happened be'erech in the middle of Bais Sheni, 200 years in, and Rabbeinu HaKadosh was also Bezman Bais Sheni. Is Memela, it was pretty close. It was within people knew their grandfather that was Bezman. You know what I mean? Their grandfather knew people that were Bezman. It was pretty close. So Memela, everybody knew it. The emes is that this Chassam Sofer is Mamash a Rambam and Pirush HaMashnayos. The Rambam Pirush HaMashnayos asked the exact same shaila. He asks, why is there no Masechtas? Why is there no Mishnayos? He's explaining why he doesn't have to be Mefarish, because the Mishnah in Menachos, Taka, over there, when the Mishnah brings an Agav, Dinei, Tzitzis, Tefillin, Tchelas, so the Rambam says, I'm not going to go through all the halachas of Tefillin and Tzitzis, because the Mishnah does it. Why doesn't the Mishnah? So he says, Rabbeinu HaKadosh didn't feel it necessary to write, because it was pasha to everybody. So that's a teretz why Chanukah is not there. The Chidah says a teretz. You know why there's no Mishnayos? Where do we know all the halachas of Chanukah? The Gemara. The Gemara in Shabbos Chav Bais. The whole Gemara is quoted. The Gemara is quoting the Megillas Tainis. It's a Megillas Tainis. The Megillas Tainis was before the Mishnayos. So it was already written up in the Megillas Tainis. So Mela wasn't necessary to write in the Mishnayos. To say it was written. For the other teretz was that it was known. This teretz is a different teretz. The reason why the Mishnayos, why it's not written, is because it's already mefurish before the Mishnayos and Megillas Tainis. Yet another teretz is before from Rabbi Yonasan Eibeshitz. He says like this. He says there's a meduber in the Gemara. The Gemara speaks about if Megillas Tainis was bottle or not bottle. The Gemara speaks about it. The Gemara concludes that it was bottle. So if it was bottle, so that's why Rabbeinu HaKadosh didn't bring it in the Mishnayos. It was bottle. If it's bottle, so you're going to ask me, wait a second, if it's bottle, so why taka we know it? So I saw the answer, and they say that the pshat is like this. Everything in Megillas Tainis, if to fast, if not to fast, if to have a Yom Tov or not to have a Yom Tov, so it was bottle. Chanukah, it wasn't just that it's a Yom Tov. Klal Yisrael was noyig b'mitzvah. Klal Yisrael was lighting the menorah. So even though be'etzem they were mevatel, it wasn't Lehoye bedint he mevatel to tell people to stop lighting the menorah. If the Pshat is a Yom Tiv, say this, and now it's not a Yom Tiv anymore. But B'makom where Klal Yisrael were doing mitzvahs, it wasn't shaykh. So just to go back, what we spoke about, Lo Yasser Shevet, it's not a lav in the Torah, but Yaakov Avinu said Lo Yasser Shevet, and Memela, the Melucha stays by Yehuda. At Kedei Kach, it affects even halacha l'maisa. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a binchas chinuch that is mesupik. The halacha is that if the Malchus left from Yehuda, then there's a din, you have to be moishech. You only have to be moishech if the Malchus left. So Mamela, the binchas chinuch is mesupik, when Mashiach is going to come, Shibana Bais Hamikdash, now that there's a hefsek of no Malchus, is that considered that it left? We should be zoichet taka, yoim of a kindness tomorrow for the Binyan Bais Hamikdash.